Invisible Woman! Tier 4 against stage 34 of Ebony and this guy, Black Dwarf. This is with a Mighty Destruction. We're just going to test out how she performs here and then slap on a few other CTPs. Now, she does have the same tier 4 charge up, so she does pop it every single rotation, which is super duper nice. But you just have to run around a lot and get the destruction proc, which I'm not personally a big fan of. Also, her 5th skill lasts super long, so you do have kind of like a distraction, just like giant circle around that follows you, and it can definitely be a visual distraction if you're not used to it, I guess. I don't know. Not a really big fan of destruction here. It's a lot of work running around for what I feel amounts to just like not that much damage. I don't know. We'll test with an energy to see if it's better, but I suspect that maybe the extra chain hit is really nice. But with the awakening skill, you do get a nice kick on her rotation now. So we're doing pretty good here. We're at 45 bars after 1 minute and 15 seconds, which is quite nice. Running around is not nice, and we're just going to pop the next rotation so we don't miss the damage window, because he comes out of the stun and he immediately goes into this shit. Okay. Not bad. I actually don't know. I'm going to stop this if we're not... I don't think we're going to make it, to be honest. And when I say make it, I mean get to the... I think I missed my proc. I'm not fast enough with my fingers anymore, man. Just get to the halfway point in time. There, I hit my proc, but I had to go back and get the 3rd skill because I forgot it. That was cool. Very nice. I think they improved her tankiness a little bit. It does feel a little bit better tank-wise. Didn't have the destruction proc up yet, so it did not do that much damage. Missed the 3rd again. I think I have like a touchscreen issue with my phone. But yeah, man, this is just way too close for comfort. In the sense that it's actually not comfortable, because it's too close. It's way too close, dude. Out of curiosity, how will she perform with the new CTPF competition as a Mighty? Now, the best part about this is I can't miss my procs, just like a Rage, and I don't have to run around. So it's way more chill on my fingers in general. And if the damage is good, especially since I can pop the tier 4 every single rotation, then I will be quite happy. Now, we are going to maybe lose a little bit of damage, a little bit of the chain hit damage, but because she only has 10%, I don't think she's relying on it as much as other characters are who have larger amounts of chain hit damage. You still have to deal with not seeing anything for parts of the fight, but we gotten really lucky with the drops for where the Aether spawns, so we're actually doing really, really well. But I assume she would do pretty well with a Rage as well, despite the fact that she doesn't have a guaranteed crit rate. I mean, I don't think she would do very well, but I think she could make use of a Rage. Just, it's not going to be... This is probably her best CTP now, which is kind of crazy to think about. But, yeah, we're 1 minute in. She does trigger her next proc sometimes, which is kind of disappointing. I think it's either the lingering hits from the 5 or the 4, or the lingering hits from the tier 4 skill, because the tier 4 skill, people forget, does damage. Did I also mention at the beginning of the video that people forget Invisible Woman has a 45% self-buffing lead? I actually genuinely think a lot of people forget that. Yeah. Let's go ahead and pop off here. 1, 2-ish bars. Yeah, 2-ish bars. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. I think you can just run away from him if you find that your next proc is activating, which is kind of funny. I think she's slightly tankier, as I mentioned, but yeah, I'm more just impressed with the damage. This CTP is very good. So it's kind of an ad for the CTP. This Invisible Woman review here. She plays basically the same. She's maybe a little bit easier to play. It's basically the same as before, but she does hit harder now, right? She does more damage with her rotation. She does more damage with her awakening skill. So she can actually do stage 34, excuse me, of the second highest boss. I think this is pretty impressive for a Mighty. This is not bad. This is like close to Jean territory. Oh, I just took a boatload of damage. That's crazy. not cool at all. Really don't want to die here. Doesn't... Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, doesn't heal enough. Damn it, dude. I wasn't paying attention and Ebony dropped his meteor. Yeah, and I didn't have my co-op skill up. I don't know where she just took a whole bunch of damage. She just got slapped for a whole bunch of damage. But this is the same thing that was happening with the previous uniform, so I don't think that it's a deficiency of the current uniform. I think it's just an issue with the boss and like certain effects not overlapping, because she has 5 seconds of invincibility and 5 seconds of immunity. The thing is that because you're spamming all of them, they overlap. So she just has those 5 seconds, and then she's vulnerable for the rest of the time. But yeah, her rotation is essentially exactly the same from the new uniform, from the old uniform to the new uniform. You just cancel everything into 4. Not the way that I canceled it there, because I canceled wrong, but it's probably best to do 3, 1, 2, 5, 4, so that your finger can move correctly. And that way you're going to get 100+ hits. And it's proc friendly. She's very, very proc friendly. You can miss some procs if you don't hit the buttons, if the boss is moving around, whatever. But it's pretty consistent. And then you're just popping that tier 4 every single time. You're always popping that tier 4 as soon as it's ready, because of all the extra damage it gives you. Like, the buff is obviously really nice, but in addition to that, in addition to the buff and the max HP, it also does damage. I think the one big change for her in PvP is that now you can charge up her tier 4 faster. I'll try to show you what it looks like to charge up her tier 4 faster on manual rather than on auto. I think it's going to be a little tough here against Null, but I'll try to... We popped 4. We did not pop 5 yet. We already got activated. I went all the way down to bronze to find a really weak team, so I can show you guys how fast her tier 4 charges up now in PvP. This is obviously not what you would normally do, but as you know, if I can get some skills to pop off, so it's 25% on her 5th skill. Then whenever you can pop it, her 4th skill gives you an additional 25%, and then her 3rd skill gives you an additional 12%, I believe. So you can see there, with just 4 skills, almost 5, she's able to pop her tier 4. And then you saw there, when you pop the tier 4, you basically instantly kill whoever you're fighting. So that's pretty nice. Now, if we can survive against Spider-Man here, we might be able to charge it up again and show you that it actually charges up pretty fast. So it's not really useful for things like Timeline Battle. It's more useful for things like Otherworld Battle and Team Battle Arena and Conquest, where there's multiple targets, so she doesn't have to be the target all the time. But this is a bit of an upgrade from her old uniform, and it allows her to basically access more damage if you can keep her alive. Now, the if you can keep her alive is a huge if. That's why I'm running Thing instead of Mr. Fantastic here, for the extra 50% all defense, and then the extra 35% or 40% HP, 25% all defense, you know, super armor, all that stuff there. You know, just to try to make her as tanky as possible, to try and make her survive until she can pop off this skill and do a bunch of damage. So that's quite nice, but it does require, you know, Franklin's artifact as high level as possible, and it's just kind of clunky. But it is something to note that if they make changes to her build, if they do make her stronger, I think she does have the chance to be a good character, a good balanced character for PvP. They don't mark her as a support. I mean, they mark her as a support and as a leader. I do think she deserves more of a buff personally. But yeah, that's on the devs. We've been asking for iframe ignore for Sue for over a year. If they don't give it to her, I don't know what to do, man. There's nothing I could do. Like, it's just kind of dumb. It's just kind of silly. And she basically just becomes a better version of Wasp, which, again, I don't know if you want to tier 4 her for that reason. A lot of people have. It's been a year, but this is mostly an upgrade for PvE right now, with the additional chain hit, with the additional hits on her awakening skill, which is nice. And it does allow her to punch up and do more content. Because of that, that was with a brilliant conquest, by the way. Because of that, I do think that the new CTP is actually quite nice for her, but she is still proc friendly, so you could go with an energy, you could go with a destruction there, but you could also go with a PvP support route and give her like an insight or a liberation if you're just going to go all in on Mr. Fantastic. But that has its own set of problems that we've highlighted in recent videos, so I don't really recommend it. Yeah. As it stands now, can't recommend this uniform. Can't really recommend any of the Fantastic Four uniforms, but you already knew that. So hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Invisible Woman. Thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.